but that didn't really work out. But today, hi, first of all, welcome back to my channel. Today is April 10th, and it is time for new additions to be added to the Concord and 9th color suite. Yes, so right now there is, well, I say right now, depending on when you watch. So on this Monday until the 12th of April, there's an Instagram hop where you can win all sorts of goodies. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. So make sure you click the link down below in the description box to check out Instagram. You might also know, if you do follow me on Instagram, you might know that the last sort of 3 weeks or so has been difficult for me. So we've had a lot of work done on the house, which must be done, of course. I'm not having any arguments about that. What I didn't realize, maybe quite naively, was just how much work needed to be done and how dirty and messy it was going to get. So if you see here in the background, I try to cover up some of the stuff in my room so that it wouldn't get like completely covered in dust, but I do believe that it's not really made that much of a difference. So I think everything is gonna have to get wiped down, dusted, and then put away. And oh my goodness, I don't know how long that's gonna take. But the other downside is that it's really done a number on my sinuses, like crazy. They feel like shriveled up, dried, horrible old pomegranates. It's not a good feeling. It's not great. It's making me sound really nasal and blah blah blah. But I'm gonna try to get through this because it's, as I said, very exciting day. So Concord and 9th quite kindly sent me some of the cardstock so that I could test it out and swatch it, and also some of the new goodies that are being released with this with the color stuff. So a lot of it is of course designed to work great with like ink blending, stamping, and die cutting. So I have used some of the goodies for a couple of cards. Actually, I made quite a few cards. But today I thought we'd stick to just like going through the colors and some like things that I learned along the way, especially when it came to the swatching. So I'm gonna mention right now, if you hear some creaking, it's actually my chair. It's not, I mean, it could be my joints. Not kidding. They are shot as well. I have swatched quite a lot. So I have used the die cutting set, which it's over here. So there is a swatchbook dies set as well. So you get this big tag and then 6 sort of pieces here. So it cuts out lots and lots and lots of pieces in one go. So you don't have to do it like 152 times to get lots of pieces. So one of the things that I started doing was I cut out one of those and then the 6 in every color so that I would have lots of options, because I do like my options. And then I decided I'm gonna have one full color swatch, and something that I didn't actually kind of think about until a few days ago. I mean, sometimes the good ideas come a little bit late, but was to actually stamp each name on the swatches themselves. Now, I tried with stamping the name directly onto here, but it just didn't really pop enough. So I cut out a little piece of, these are actually the spacers, which are super handy for making your swatches. And then I stamped all the names on these, and it just made them, it just pops so much more and it looks so much better. So that's definitely something to think about if you are, as type A as I am about my swatches. Something else that I actually started, but I only got 3 colors in, was to basically take one cardstock and then stamp and then ink blend. Now I am aiming to do this with all of the colors, all of them except for white maybe, but it just gives you a whole different idea of what the colors look like when they're stamped, with this cardstock, and when it's ink blended. So I think that is the next thing to do. But now we're gonna get into the video, and we're gonna head down to the desk and, you know, feast our eyes on all this luscious color. So if I sniff and, you know, make some weird, like, you know, snotty noises, I'm really, really sorry. I cannot help it. I will try to cut them out if I can, or like edit them out. But if you hear one or two, it's just the way it is at the moment. So without further ado, let's get into it. So as you can see here, my sort of being extra with swatches has gone back quite a few years. So this is these are the ones I made like 3 years ago when a lot of colored cardstock came out, and I decided to use them on both white cardstock and black cardstock. And it just so happened that the colors actually worked out to have, I could write Concord and 9th in all of the colors except for white and black. So I mean, I kind of like how that turned out. And then I stamped them all up. I made a color chart, and then I made this fun thing. Again, it just kind of worked so well with all the colors. But now these are the new colors as well as the old colors. So it comes in a pack. I don't know exactly how it's going to come when you buy them. I don't know if there's like sampler packs, but ooh, the colors are so good. I mean, look at that. It's like such a feast for the eye. I love color. So now we are going to, first of all, we're going to use the swatch book dies, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take the big tag and the 6-piece together to, actually we're going to trim out some cardstock, and then we're going to use all of these fabulous stamps to stamp our names. So I don't actually have to write them out, and these are the samplers or spacers I was talking about earlier. So they are super handy. Make sure you don't lose those. So get our trimmer out, and then we're going to get all of this opened, and we are going to get swatching. Yes. Okay, so because I'm a bit of a, like, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't like to waste cardstock. I don't like to, actually I don't like to waste anything in the ever. But I decided to try to cut out as thin a piece of cardstock as I could without, you know, having, you know, so I need the space for the big tag and for the 6 pieces next to each other without them kind of like sliding around and maybe like going off the cardstock. So it worked out really well to do these at 3 3/4 inches or like 9.5 centimeters. So there was enough. You could probably do them like a teeny tiny bit smaller if you use something like washi tape or something to hold them in place as you're running them through your die cutting machine. However, I went a little bit bigger so that I wouldn't have any of these like sliding off the paper issues, because I have had them in the past, and sometimes you just have to have a little bit extra, just, you know, it's not waste, but it's just that extra kind of like safeguard. So then what we're going to do is we're going to put these on, and we're going to run them through all the way, obviously not just halfway, all the way. So then we're going to get one of the big tags, and then we're going to get 6 pieces of this luscious dragon fruit color. I love this color. This is like so kapow. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put them aside, and we're also going to keep the little circle, because that can be fun. You know, you never know. Everything, save everything. And then we are always going to keep everything else for the time being, because you just never know. Especially the little kind of, looks kind of like a Tetris bit at the end. Definitely keep that. And then we're going to do all of the rest of the colors. Now, I do wish that it was this fast in real life, because I was here, I think, to do all of the colors with all the cutting and all of this. It was probably a good couple of hours to make sure that I got them all done properly. So what I do when I do this sort of stuff, because you might think, oh my god, a couple of hours, no, I'm not doing that. But it is a great opportunity to put like a podcast on, or, you know, Netflix something, or, you know, catch up on your latest show or whatever. Because this type of work, you know, when you just die cutting, it's very, I mean, it can be kind of boring, but it's also a bit sort of relaxing and rewarding, because you get something pretty and useful out of it. So after all of that die cutting, I was tired, went to bed, and because of this situation outside, yeah, I came in to my craft room the following day, and it had gone from bad to worse because of this. This is how it sounded all day for like 4 days. It was awful. Dust everywhere. Look at this. I mean, I had a cover over my desk and still, look at this. It was just dust everywhere. So I had to wipe the dust off all of my pieces of cardstock. That probably took the longest. But then I lined up all my colors and it looks so pretty. And then here is my big swatch. And then I've got all the little pieces sort of separate. Now, what I should have done here, 100%, and I know I mentioned this before, I should have started out by adding the names to the actual swatches themselves first, so that I knew. So here is some of the things. So I have all of this, like I have certain photos that I just love, and I have put together like a little album with photos to make my like color combos. So this is one of them. And then here I was thinking, oh, maybe do I need to add some blue? But I think I'm just going to keep it like in the sort of yellows and greens and grays. So, but that one can go to the side for now. And then what I'm going to do here now is just kind of show you a few of the sort of the processes, like, you know, how do I pick my colors? So this big flower is also like all of these photos I've taken myself. So they're, you know, from some of them will go back years, but I gone through them, I looked at them and I thought, oh, this is really pretty. This is inspiring me. So I have gone through all of these and then picked out a few. Well, I say a few, that's a little bit of a, not exaggeration, but like under exaggeration. So, and this beautiful bouquet of flowers I made for my friend when she got married whatever now, 2023. Oh my goodness, nearly 5 years. So 4.5 years ago, she got married. And my wedding present to her was doing the wedding flowers. So these are the colors that she wanted. So she just said, do whatever you want. I don't care. Just, you know, kind of like keep the colors in this sort of way. So I got to do whatever I wanted. And this was the result. And we, you know, she had a brilliant wedding day. I had great fun playing with flowers again. And yeah, it was just brilliant. But I love, love, love this photo. So I wanted to do a color combo swatch for that one. So I picked out some of the colors, you know, from like the color lilies, the roses and the hydrangeas, and also the leaves. So it's very easy for me to kind of go to the same type of colors because I love blues, I love teals, I love pinks. So I really wanted to try to kind of keep some of them very. And of course, there's rainbows in there. Oh, I can't help that. But I wanted to try to stretch my imagination a little bit and kind of think outside the box. So like this one here, this is a photo of some wallpaper from the East Berlin Home Museum or something like that. So there's a museum in Berlin that has like, I don't know if they're actually originals or if they're just replicas, but there's basically like all the apartments with all the furniture, the wallpaper, that's the wallpaper from the communist era. So it's super, super interesting. So if you're in Berlin, you should definitely go and have a look at that. And then of course here it's me in my summery robe with my macaroons and my morning coffee. So yes, there's a lot of these. But this was so much fun. Honestly, I cannot recommend doing these kind of like color combination swatch books for like those times when you're feeling like your mojo is low, you're just like, oh my god, I don't know what colors to pick from, blah blah blah. These swatches will come in so handy to just kind of kickstart your mojo a little bit, or you know, get you out of a funk or whatever you need to do, you know, to just kind of have some fun again. Because sometimes, you know, the hardest part of creating is deciding on a color scheme. So if you're making these when you're already inspired, you're looking at your photos, or like do like I do, like take some photos that you have taken whenever, put them into an old album, and then sit down and just kind of do this with, you know, maybe not just this cardstock, but all of your cardstock or your ink colors or whatever. It would just be super handy to have for those times when you're like, you come into your craft room and you feel like, I should make something, but I don't know what, and I don't know where to start. And then you can look at your little swatch book and be like, oh, hey, I know where to start now. You know, like that. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of these photos that I've got here are taken in Spain. I mean, I lived in Spain now for almost, it's going to be 3.5 years. If not, yeah, 3.5 years, I think. And I mean, around here where we live right now, we're up in the Andalusian mountains. It is just absolutely stunning. I love it here. It's very quiet. It's not for everyone, but I love it. It's beautiful. It's quiet, colorful. It's, yeah, it's very, very lovely. But so this photo that I've taken just here is just from down the road, basically. This is another one. That flower is taken from my garden. You can spot my little chica there sniffing the flower as I was taking the picture. And yeah, it's just, colors and beauty, you know, can just inspire in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, definitely, if you're one of those people like me that sometimes come up into the craft room, you sit here for like half an hour and you're like, I don't know what I want to do or where I want to start, you know, this could definitely be something for you. So here I have just made a few. I mean, I did go a little bit crazy and I made some more, but I have decided now to just sort of stick some of these down and make sure that I, you know, get them out of the way and done, because I thought I was done after these, but no. But I have used my grid mat to try to make sure that I'm adding the bottom color straight on, and then I'm not gluing this little spacer thing down. I'm just holding it in place, sliding it up against the lowest color, and then I'm just sliding in my second or third or whatever color on top of that, pulling the slider or the spacer out, adding it again, and then so on and so on until all of the colors are done. So if you want, if you're using the little one, you can fit quite comfortably 6 colors on there. If you're using the bigger spacer, you can get 5 colors on there. Of course, you can trim your tag dye down if you want less colors, or if you want to add like a little note. This was, I think I'm going to do it on the back of mine because I use 6 colors on almost every single one. So I'm probably going to add like a little name or little note on the back, like this is my pink fluffy peony, this is Sarah's wedding bouquet, this is the Ermita de San Anton, which was the one with the kind of cotton candy sky in the background. You know, my morning macaroons. Maybe come up with some like fun little names for all of these. And then I might even, I mean, I don't know if anyone would be interested in using my photos, but if they are, there will be a little clip at the end where I'll be showing each photo with the colors that I've done. So if you're wanting to maybe use those for inspiration, you know, you're more than welcome to. So there's that option. Also, if you don't want to use, you know, if you don't have lots of photos, if you aren't a photoholic like I am, I have something like 28,000 photos on my phone. I know it's ridiculous, but I'd rather have too many photos than not enough photos. So and you know, they came in handy at this point, didn't they? So yeah, there we have it. But I just want to mention as well, like about over on Instagram, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, there is an Instagram hop. So there's lots of $25 gift vouchers being given away. 18, in fact. 18 chances. So all you gotta do is hop along and leave like a little comment. So you click the little heart button and just write, wow, amazing colors, or something like that. You know, so each comment counts as an entry into the giveaway. So you have until 10 a.m. Mountain Time, which is Utah time, which is right, so I'm in Spain. I'm 8 hours ahead of them, so that will be 6 o'clock Central European time, which means 12 o'clock Eastern time. And I don't want to say anything about the other time zones because I'm not very good at that. But here are my first round of color swatches done, and they look absolutely luscious. I mean, look at all those colors, just so good. And I mean, I feel like there's more yellow than blue. Yes, I think so. And for my first stamping with the colors, I did actually use my Misty, and I think that worked out really, really well because you can actually get nice solid stamping as well. So I tried stamping with like a little block, and I mean, of course you can do however you want to. I'm one of those people that kind of, I doubt my stamping ability without the Misty now because I am so dependent on it. So I'm almost always use my Misty. You will see later on in the video that I did stamp some stuff kind of, I don't want to say freehand, but like just stamping it with a block, which is very unusual for me. But if you're using Misty, I just wanted to give you like a couple of little pointers here. Make sure that your tag is in like really close up against the edges so it doesn't move, and then do take that extra bit of time to make sure that your all of the names go on straight, because you don't want to do all of this work and then right at the end something goes on wonky, and it's going to bug the bananas out of you every time you look at it, because then it's not bringing you joy, it's bringing you creative chaos. And you know, we don't have time for that. Let's not, you know, these swatches are supposed to help you in the craft room, not wind you up. So do you take that bit of extra time to make sure that you're getting it straight. And another thing here as well is that I actually ended up using my ink cube, my black ink cube, rather than my big ink pad, because I did feel like I got ink all over the lid of the Misty, and I didn't want to risk any of that going onto my pretty swatches. So I decided to use the mini ink cube instead of the big one. And I do think that worked really, really well. I had no issues whatsoever. The only thing is that maybe I need to re-ink my cube a little bit because I did have to stamp twice. So whereas with the big ink pad, it was really nice and juicy, almost a little bit too juicy at times because or maybe I pressed down too hard, I don't know, but I stamped and it kind of slid a little bit. So maybe that's me because I'm so used to using a Misty. I had to go back to like stamping 101. But so you see here, I'm putting the lid down and just like stopping there to make sure that everything is definitely straight. And then we're going to ink. And then we're going to stamp this. And I did use a stamp tool from LDRS to make sure that I got a nice, not every single time, but most of the times, to make sure that I got really nice, even stamping as well. And yes, because I did not have enough, I made some more. So you can see the ones with the names on them are the ones I've already finished. And then I sat down and I was like, I can make 1 or 2 more. And all of a sudden I had like 12 more. I really don't know when to stop. But this one here is inspired by my little Chica. When she was poorly, she had to have a little sunflower cone. So yeah, that one's probably going to be called Gem Sunflower or something like that. But then, so I'm going to do the same thing here with I'm using the spacer, I'm using a tape roller. I suppose, I didn't actually even consider using liquid glue because I didn't want to kind of make the paper too wet and kind of like crinkly or something like that. But if you are really worried about not getting them on straight, that, you know, those are the times when I do use liquid glue, when I'm worried that things are not going to go on straight. But here, for some reason, I wasn't as worried probably because of the little spacer and also using my grid mat. So I found this super relaxing and fun to do. And I still have so many pieces left to do. I still have lots of little cardstock pieces. So I could probably make easy another like 20 swatches as well. And I just hopped along with the Instagram hop as well. And I saw some fantastic color combinations. So definitely make sure you check that out. Even if you are not bothered about winning, make sure you check out the hop just for the inspiration alone. Super, super good. I'm always blown away. And I really want to say thank you to Concord and Night as well for, letting me be part of this, because I've had so much fun with this release. It's been absolutely amazing. And I haven't even broken into the inks yet. I mean, apart from the 3 when I did like a little bit of ink blending, I haven't even gotten into that yet. So, there's going to be a whole lot more inking and swatching and blending going on. Faux show. While I'm finishing this off, so this is actually inspired by a lovely burrata and was it spinach or rucola salad with the tomatoes, that red and green one. Oh my goodness, I'm getting hungry now. Might have to go eat. And so here is another. I wanted to show you this as well, even though I didn't really enjoy doing this, because like I said, I'm so reliant on my Misty now. I just kind of like, I question myself whether I can do it straight or not. So I probably would also, something that I did mention or realize as well, is that I just got my fingers so messy with the ink that I was worried about getting, getting smudges on the actual colors or smudging the stamping. This ink really did dry quite quickly, though. I was a bit surprised actually of how quickly it dried, which is super good when you're doing things like this. But I probably won't be doing this again unless I've got loads and loads of little blocks, and I'm using, like, say, maybe 5 or 6 colors over and over again, because I felt like I was getting so messy. I was dipping my fingers into my little pot with water and wiping them off, and even I used a little bit of stamp cleaner at one point. This one I really like. Oh, I can't remember where this one was actually inspired by, but I love those colors. So I actually ended up going to bed with a headache the day when I was doing this as well. But now, this is what I really should have done first. And I highly, highly recommend doing the color swatching and then stamping the names onto your color swatches. Whether you choose to do it directly or using the little spacer as I did, just let me show you here. So this is stamped directly onto the cardstock, and I know that the text is in the way, but you can see now. It really didn't kind of pop. I didn't think so anyway. So I decided I'm going to cut out literally 50 of those little spacers, and I'm going to use those and stamp the names on them directly. Now for this, for some reason, I really didn't find that it was like that difficult to stamp. But if you are in a rush for time, or if you're thinking, you know what, I really don't want to cut that 48 times because there's 48 colors, you could use the die cut in the middle, and you get 6 at a time. So you just you need to only cut. Okay, it was 48 divided by 6. I am so blocked up, I can't even think now. So it's going to be 12, right? 12? 6? No, it's not. Oh, okay. I'm embarrassing myself now. You know what? Let's skip that. So with the 6-piece die cut, you obviously have to cut a lot less. I don't know what the number is, but it's a lot less anyway. So here, as you can see, I'm gonna take each one of the colors. So I'm gonna start from the top, and I'm gonna work my way to the bottom. I'm gonna stamp every single one of them. And I've already done, I think, dragon fruit. So we're gonna start with whatever is at the top there. And we're going to just dab onto the ink pad, and then we're going to eyeball it, which is another scary thing for me. And then we're going to stamp, and then we're going to put that aside. And here as well, what I did was I put, as soon as I finished with the stamp, because I only stamped them once, I put them into the little pot that you can see in the left-hand corner. So it's got water in it, so hopefully they will clean off a little bit easier. And then also another thing that I didn't even think about until I probably stamped up like 10 or 12 or something like that, was that, they don't come in the color order on the stamp set, but I decided to kind of start dividing them up into the color families as I was going along. And I also, as you can see here, I cleaned off my fingers very regularly in between to make sure that I didn't smear or smudge any ink onto my little name tags or spacers, you know. So this was also surprisingly, considering that, you know, I had this kind of like stamping fear now, it was actually quite relaxing as well. And I'm thinking maybe what I should have done here is I should have done like 2 or 3 in the same at the same time, you know, to make sure that I had for whatever, you know. But maybe I'm again kind of going along the route of just doing too much and not just letting it be. But I have that problem. I don't know what to do about it. It's just one of those things. It's one of those ways I'm just routed, you know. But so we're coming like towards the end, so I'm stamping and stamping, 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 and you can't see all of them because some of them actually go outside of the camera view, but it was actually surprisingly very easy to stamp them, and I do credit this to the ink pad being very nice and juicy. No kind of, you know, I didn't have to stamp twice on a single one. It just all printed really, really well. The only thing maybe I would say is, I don't know whether it's because I'd already stamped quite a few times with the stamp. So if you're opening a brand new packet, maybe you want to just condition the stamps a little bit to make sure that you're getting a good stamping, because there's nothing as annoying as trying to stamp something and you just don't get a good quality stamping. But when these were finished, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna whack these out. I'm gonna get them done because it looks so pretty. So again, I'm using my grid mat to make sure that I'm getting these on quite straight, and then I'm just adding a little bit of tape runner, and that's it. And then for the second one, I just used my first dragon fruit one, just to make sure that I got them reasonably in the same space, so that it looks even and uniform, and thus prettier. It just, I don't know. Maybe I have issues, but I like it. I like Slice's order. I mean, it's just one of those things. It looks pretty. It's very useful. It's very handy. And this would have saved me a lot of time when I was, you know, questioning myself with all the colors when I was doing my swatches, when I'm thinking, oh, is this powder, or is this Harbor, or is this, you know, pink lemonade, or is this ballet slipper? Because some of the colors are, if you're not used to them, they look very similar. So this would have been super handy to have when I was doing that. So if I would do this again, I would 100% do this bit first and then do all the rest, because it would make life so much easier, for sure. Oh, on the last one, so you see that I've taken the dove one just off to the side. I managed to smudge it a little bit, so I decided to redo it, because, you know, if everyone is pretty except for this one, it would bug me. So I stamped up a new one, and a good thing I did do those extras, because it came in handy. So here I'm just going to fix this one in, and then we're going to line them all up into the correct order. I am using the same order as on the little color sheet here to my left. And then we're going to put a little ring binder on them, and that is it. Second swatch done, ready to go. Super handy, not to mention pretty. So I'm going to keep these swatches onto one ring binder, a smaller one, and then I'm going to keep my color combo swatches onto a smaller one, and then I'm going to add these 2 smaller ones onto a bigger one that has my first kind of swatches that actually says Concord and 9th. So here, oh, but look at these again. I mean, oh, so pretty. Look at all those colors. Oh, so many. I mean, I might eventually have to upgrade these to the big ring binder, because, I mean, I can already feel like there's another few that I need to add. Like Callie had a really pretty color combination. Laura Basson had a fantastic one. Oh, so good. Yes, so I definitely will have another few to add to this big old ring binder, and then we are going to then go into each one of the pitches that are each one of these were inspired by. Right, so our first one is actually inspired by some ink or pearl alcohol inks that I did, and I just took like a close up, basically. I mean, obviously the colors are not going in exactly the right order, but that is just, you know, a rainbow. A rainbow is a rainbow, isn't it? But if you wanted to write down these colors, you might want to pause it now. What I'll do is I'll make sure that I keep all my hands out of the view for each one, so that you can pause it. You can write down the colors if you want to, or take screenshots, whatever you do to, you know, keep track of stuff. And then I will move on. So the next one is, oops, we're going the wrong way. This one. So this is a gate that I saw in Valencia when we lived in Valencia. I love the stone and the green and the wrought iron and all the plants and the bright blue sky. It's just beautiful. So this one, I actually did decide to keep it just in these colors, basically. But if you wanted to add a pop of blue, you know, of course, that's up to you. You decide. And I did go for the kind of warmer neutrals rather than the kind of colder, like Dove and Pebble. But there's so many things you can do here. So that is this fluffy peony that I think was in my garden one year. Yeah. So dragon fruit, sweet pea, briar rose, pink lemonade, ballet slipper, and white for the highlights, of course. And our next photo is the wedding bouquet. I might even like zoom in a little bit like that. So this was in September of 2018, I want to say. My friend got married, and I used to be a florist. It was one of my favorite jobs ever. And I hadn't been a florist since 2012. So it was a real treat to go back and do flowers for her, because it's such a meaningful gift as well. So let's see, we'll get it good that way. And then, oops, I think I flicked. Oh, no, did I miss? Oh, I missed one. So this is the, oh, we'll find out later, I think. So yes, so that is my morning macarons and coffee and summer robe. I think this is going to be called morning macarons, probably. So then we have some flowers. This is also taken in Valencia. Bright blue skies, real amazing pop of color, a little bit of green. And here, of course, you can also, you know, choose different neutrals. If you hear some lapping in the background, it's because, of course, one of the chicas is deciding to have a little drinky right now and can't let her mummy work in peace. Ay, ay, ay. So here is a sunset, and I do believe this one might have been from Valencia as well, actually. Yeah, so just, we had the most incredibly, like, vivid sunsets there. I mean, they're amazing here as well, but in a completely different way. And then next one, this is from right up the road from us. It is just spectacular. I love this place. And you can see, like, you can see from this spot, you can see all the way to the Sierra Nevadas. You can see down to Granada. It's just amazing. And then there's my little pup, this little Jemmy Jew. And then if you want to just the flower colors, there you go. And then next one is some tulips. So here, instead, if you feel like, oh, I don't really think the nectar goes in, you can always add in some white to kind of bring in those highlights. But, you know, there's so many things you can do, so many options. There's, so many amazing color combinations. So here is from a place where we stayed when we were looking for cave houses. So when we thought that we were going to be buying a cave house, we stayed in this place. It's called Cueva Aventuras, and it's in a place called Benamaral, which is absolutely incredible. So if you're looking to try to stay, or if you want to try Cave House Country in Spain, you should definitely check out Cueva Aventuras. It was such a fantastic place to stay. And this is a saltwater pool, actually. Very cool. So this is from Seattle. Oh, I want to, it's this master glass blower place. Oh my goodness, what is this called? I was there with my friend Sika in, it must have been January 2019. Chihuly Gardens, that's it. And then we went up the Space Tower and I was absolutely petrified. But the Chihuly Gardens was absolutely spectacular. And then there was a birthday cake one year. This was my 40th birthday cake. Yeah, this was from, this is Polish. This was from Poland, actually. So, funnily enough, that birthday was not a very good one because the man was away. There was a big misunderstanding about my birthday dinner. So, it was just all a bit of a, it was a bit of a palaver, to be honest. But I got cake and it was pretty. So, and you know, it made a very, very pretty color combo. So, yes, you win some, you lose some. And then here is a coffee photo that, you know what, there's a dog head right there. Sorry about that. So one morning we woke up in Poland and all the leaves were frozen and it just looked really, really pretty and spectacular. And I decided to take a photo with my coffee. And I think by the time I actually got to drink the coffee, it was cold. But, you know, it made for a pretty picture anyway. And then this is also in Poland. This is one in a town called Szczecin that we actually lived in, and or Szczecin. Oh, sorry about this knotting. And it was one, I think it was one of the kind of governmental buildings, and it was just so ornate and amazing. Like, oh my goodness, look at those details, incredible. And then some lilacs from my garden in Poland. Here I feel like you could go like either kind of like pastel-y purples or you know, the kind of like, you know, you go eggplant, grape soda, and lilac to kind of bring in all of those different colors of the lilacs. But again, so many options, so many ways you can go. And there's my tomato mozzarella or tomato burrata salad. I think this is tomato mozzarella salad. I do love my food. I really am getting hungry now, so I guess my other man is actually cooking dinner, so I'll be quite pleased to go and eat. But yes, so that's that. And this is from Phoenix. Like just something I saw that I thought, oh my goodness, that is very like American Phoenix-y, deserty, you know, bright sort of fun, fiery colors. And then, oh, the man and I in our matching pajamas. Yeah. Maybe that's not for everyone. And here's my little sunflower girl. My poor little Jemmy Jew when she was poorly. So this was last year. So this is, I can tell it was last year as well because that is definitely taken in Valencia when we lived there. And she was so cute with her little sunflower cone. She wasn't happy about it, but she had to do it. And here is a cup that I got from Poland, or I saw in Poland. I don't think I bought this one, which is highly unusual for me, because usually when I see pretty cups, I buy them all. I have so many. And this was a flower that I picked and took photos of because it was just, I thought it was really spectacular. Just so beautiful, like all of those different colors and like the texture and the veins and like the greens and the purples and almost like the kind of tealy. It's almost like it's not quite teal, it's not quite kind of, you know, like when you look at petrol, it's got that kind of color. It's like a rainbowy iridescent color on top. It's almost that to me. And then here's my little girl, my little Jimmy Jew. Oh, this might be the, I wonder if this is the, this one maybe, actually. This could be this. And I think I added in the dove just to kind of bring in, so it's not just a bunch of warm colors. it is actually a little bit of like a neutral in there as well. But it could, let's see. It could be this one as well. Not. Either way, it's my pretty girl. And then this one, oh, you know what? I think it stopped at here actually, because this is not that color. This one I did because I just really, really enjoy the colors. So I'm not sure exactly where the inspiration came from this one, but I really, really like these colors together. And it's the same with this one. This is quite possibly another version of, let's see, where did it go? Is it this one maybe? No, I think it might be, I wonder if it's this one. And I've kind of gone like completely opposite. So there's a little bit of yellow there. There is the green, and then obviously all the blues and the tiles, and then kind of that for, it doesn't really fit, does it? But anyway, I like those colors. And then this one I really, really like as well. Just kind of like very 90s pops of pink, isn't it? But yeah, so that is it. I really hope you have enjoyed this, and if you if you're still here, hi, thank you so much. Really appreciate the support, and I will be back with more videos soon for sure to you know, because I've got a bunch of cards to show off as well, and of course I do also have to do the ink swatching as well, so there will be lots more coming. But for now, that is it. Thank you so much for stopping by, and don't forget, if you shop the new release, I have got a affiliate link down below in the description box at absolutely $0 extra for you, and I get a little thank you from Concord as a thank you for you using my link. So thank you for watching, for following along, for supporting me. I really appreciate it. You have no idea. And I am gonna go eat dinner now, and I really hope you have enjoyed this and that you found some inspiration here with me today. Bye for now.